Hi, welcome back to the table. It's Amy with Notes from Past Amy. Today I wanted to share with you my fountain pen collection. It's been right at a year since I first tried a fountain pen. It was the Sensations from Zebra. And I have gotten quite a few non-disposable pens since then. My first purchase was this Pilot Metropolitan in the Aqua Retro Dot Pop, whatever this line is called. It has a fine nib. It's a beautiful writer. The grip is much too small for my hand, but it's a beautiful writer, so I still have it. Plus, technically, it was my first pen, and it's really cute. I would definitely recommend it. And that's pen number 1. Followed closely, same day purchase, with pen number 2, a Lamy Safari. If you look closely here in the logo, you can see some little bite marks, and we're all over the bottom of this pen. I bought it used off Amazon. Didn't know any other places to buy pens at that time, and it really drove me crazy, so I ended up covering in this kind of artistic swirl here. I covered it with nail polish with glitter in it. This one came as a medium. This is my favorite medium. It probably doesn't write like a medium, and that's why it's my favorite. Handles shimmer really, really well. Definitely would recommend this one. Then, let's see, these aren't quite chronological. I'm trying to keep them kind of like one of each, or my Benus are together and my Jinhao X750s are together and that kind of thing. So we're going to go ahead and move to the Diplomat Magnum. Got this at Goulet during their Black Friday sales last year. I was too late for Fountain Pen Day, and so saw this in their specials. I don't think it was even a Black Friday special. It just happened to be in the sale bin, and I thought it was really pretty. This bluey purple prismatic color, sometimes called John Doe. A number 5 size nib. It's the Diplomat Magnum. Great writer. I got this one in a broad because I was trying to experience all the different nibs, and I really did stick with that theme throughout the year. So Diplomat Magnum, it's upside down that way, sorry. Diplomat. Another great but small pen. I found this one on Pens and Pencils or Pen Savings or something. I was starting to discover more sites that actually sold pens, not Amazon. Again, a bit of a smaller grip. I've got Aurora Borealis in this right now. It looks fantastic. Probably a number 5 size nib again. Cross Bailey Light, aqua or teal or whatever this color is. Something like that. This came in a fine, I think, and we figured out some sort of a converter, I think, when I was trying to help my mother order, oh look, it's almost out, order a pen and some ink for my cousin. I had her get the wrong converter for that pen and eventually put it in this pen. It's not a cross converter. I had a lot to learn, but anyway, it works. Probably won't ever sell it because of that. I don't know if I damaged that like join or if it's okay. It never leaks. I never have any problems with it. Another great writer. This isn't recommended in beginner videos. I didn't see the Magnum recommended either, but these are both fantastic pens. Really lightweight, a bit on the small side, but really great pens. This was another one of my first ones, the Jinhao X750, and this one I ordered as a set of 2, one for my son, one for myself, and his is a checkerboard type of pattern. This one was called Night Sky on Amazon, and on Goulet it's called Shimmering Sands. I'm pretty sure it's the same pen. They come with a medium nib. This one still has the original nib. It's got a weird ink in it right now, so it looks kind of funny, but it's just the Jinhao medium nib. I don't use this one a lot right now. It's got an okay sized grip section, kind of small. I don't like my fingers that close together. It's not comfortable. But if I hold it back here, it's okay. I have other pens I like better now. And so this one doesn't really get used. Plus you have to use a really nice paper for that ink to look good. So that's not doing it any favors either. Eventually I ordered a pack of 3 more Jinhaos to use FPR nibs on. So this is the Ultraflex. Works fantastically. Can demo that later if you want. I'm going to try to keep this short because I did record this earlier today and it was a solid hour. My device actually turned off partway through. Like, stop talking, lady. You're just giving way too much information. So I'm going to try to keep it to the point. The set came with the pink, this purple one, which now spins freely, but seems to seal okay. Also has the Ultra Flex nib on it. I did buy the feeds, but the feeds didn't fit in this, and now they are secure. There's no going back to the way they were. And then here's the third one that came. It's like a textured black. This one has a semi-flex on it. Very similar to a pen we have coming up that is vintage. There we go. Next up are kit pens. I discovered Barry's pens on Etsy. And this one has like little jewels and a very, very long neck. I sometimes call this a giraffe neck. I don't know how to refer to it. It's got a little like generic iridium pointed fine nib on it, probably a size 5, and it came with a converter. I love to use this one for testing inks, just like dipping. I know it's got a converter, but it works really, really well. I can make my entire sample card with one dip, and it fits in lots of different bottles because it's so small for so long. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and keep this one empty now that it's empty and use it for doing swatches essentially because I missed having it for that. The day that one arrived, I went back on to Etsy and found this one. And this is the Noble style. The other one was the Orion in Lava Lamp. This is a blank he called, what did he call this? Northern Lights. So I have a pink purple and a blue purple. Those are my 3 favorite colors. And this one has a really generic nib. It has no useful information, just iridium point Germany. No size, nothing. But it handles shimmer beautifully. These do dry out if you leave them long enough, but generally speaking, they're very well behaved, and I think I'm going to make this my purse pen. This one has a converter, so a little bit I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, it is inked. Oops. The other one's not, but this one is, and this is how you have to do it. So you can't really see what you're doing, but it's pretty easy to feel. And then you put this cap back on it. Yeah, this is a great writer. So this is going to be my purse pen. And that's tray 1. Next, we're moving into vintage. I found a couple vintage pens. Where did I find these? This one was from Reddit. This is my first vintage pen. The Waterman, if I do it this way, maybe you can read it. 9-2. So kind of like a 52, but the celluloid version. You can see the stamp here. And this brighter green and brown. That's the original color. This very golden type of brown is just discoloration, especially here in the body. There's a little more of the green coming through in the cap. Had a broken clip, but had been recently kind of restored. There's a manifold nib on this. It says right on it, manifold, and I love the little heart cutout. So I found this on Reddit, Mr. FPR, and he was selling it for a decent price, a very decent price. And so I went ahead and jumped on that. I had just gotten a new sack in it and all the things, so I didn't have to do anything to it. I didn't learn until recently how to fill them, but a week after I purchased that one, eBay said, hey, there's a new result for your Esterbrook, vintage Esterbrook fountain pen search, I think is what I had saved. And it's a lever filler, of course. This is an Esterbrook J. It's got the little jewels on it, very similar to that kit pen. And this one had a nib I was interested in. It's not the, what is it, 2556. It seems like all those pens have a nib like that. This is a 2048, so a Falcon nib. It's kind of a semi-flex. It's much the same as the FPR semi-flex. So this is the Esterbrook J. And my son calls this the girlfriend. We've got the ugly pen and the girlfriend. I got them a week apart. So they've been a cute little couple. They're the same size and they make a nice little pair. They've been that way for quite a while, all summer, I guess. Into the fall, and now we're in winter. This one is a 52. That's upside down. I don't know anything about this or the next one. These came together. I bought them one price, both pens. They shipped from the Netherlands. arrived this past week. I replaced the sacks. I got sacks on sale fountain pen day from Anderson Pens, along with ink bottles and other things I probably didn't really need, but you know. And they both have very flexy nibs. They're super fun to use. This is the New York nib, and then this one is the Canada nib. And I don't know what the difference is. They write the same. The nibs are slightly different shape. They're both Watermans. They're both 52s. 52, this one's harder to read. The brown one has kind of a decent imprint on it, and the black one is pretty rubbed off. Where is it? Oh, I think it went right there. It's quite rubbed off. You can't read it like really at all, but you can read the brown one pretty decently. And I've been having a lot of fun with these this weekend. And that's all I have for vintage pens, those 4. Moving on to big pens, my favorite pens. This is such a great size. This was one of the first ones. I found this in the clearance bin at either Pens and Pencils or Pen Savings. This is a Monteverde Giant Sequoia in turquoise. Love this one. So glad I didn't realize the acrylics could be so different. This is the only giant white stripe I have. Quite fond of this one, and my thumb goes right there where the stripe is. So there we go. It's a 5-inch uncapped. So I really can't use them any smaller. It's just so uncomfortable. I don't like posting. Something always ends up right here in the webbing of my hand, and I don't like it. It usually balances it weird. It's back heavy. No, I don't do that. So that Monteverde Giant Sequoia in fine. This is my only extra fine. I guess if you don't count Lamy. I do have more Lamys, and I'll try to remember to show them at the end because I forgot at the beginning. But it develops that little crusty thing at the end. It has Yamabudo in it, so it doesn't seem to matter what ink is in there. Maybe if I did like a less red color it would help, but whatever. It's got a little bit of staining here from some Bay State purple or Concord grape or whatever that color was. It's a Noodler's, and I didn't realize Bay State was permanent. This is the same size as the Monteverde, but it's a little bit longer. And it's beautiful. I love that star nib. So pretty, and it has a captured converter. So the converter's extra long, like the twisty part, and it's gold to match the hardware of the pen, and you can like control it from the back here. You don't have to undo the entire pen. So that's kind of fun. I never do that because we got acrylic on metal, and I've watched way too many pen reviews. So I don't usually do it that way, but it's a beautiful pen. It's numbered. I cannot read the number, but it is numbered. It says Maiora, Italy, deep purple, something, something. And that was my Christmas pen last year. One of the only pens I have that we paid over $100 for. Definitely not the only one worth that, but that was the cap I set on my collection this year. It was $100 per pen, not value, but actually spending that amount. And then I really wanted to explore as much with nibs as I could. So those were my goals for the year. I found this Benu just a few weeks after I found fountain pens. It was a Cult Pens exclusive. The color is Celebration, and if you hold it right here, it's perfectly fine. This is quite narrow, too close, but you're seeing size really matters to me. And this one is quite a good fit. You can tell I've got pink in it right now. It's a fine nib. It's not my finest Benu fine nib, but it was my first. These also have a really fantastic clip. So there you go. Very sparkly, as is the second one. This is the 2023 New Year's edition. This one is numbered, number 487 of 500. Lots of glitter. This one just has the large silver and then star-shaped gold ones, which is super fun. We've got some up here in the cap too. And the green band is a really nice complement to this. It also has a green section. This is also a fine, but it's a finer fine than the Celebration. Of course, it has that fantastic clip as well. And then recently, a couple months ago, I got this Benu, which is also the Euphoria. I'm afraid to try anything else because I love this one so much. If you look at it, you can see little bits that are like not shiny. or maybe they are shining and they shouldn't be. And all around the section there's some glue, which I haven't taken time to look into removing. This is a medium point. I found this on Mercari. It was like a third of the price of a new one. It has glow in the dark ends. This is called the Ocean Breeze, I want to say. And I could only leave it there for a week before I sent in an offer, and they accepted and shipped it, and it came so fast, and it's a good writer. I've got a dry ink in it right now, so it kind of writes more like a fine, but that's the ink's fault. I'm pretty sure it's the ink's fault. It will be fantastic when I switch it over to purple. If you want a color to match this, though, a neat color, Colorverse NGC 6302 is a really good match. Tray 3. Tray 3 is one of this, one of that, and then my hand-turned pens. One of this, the Laban Pilgrim in Midnight Purple. I know it's light purple. It's called Midnight Purple. Great little chubby size, much like the Monteverde. This one has a medium nib. It was a Bach nib, and, well, it's still a Bach nib, but I have not had a whole lot of luck with Bach nibs. I think maybe the Monteverde is a Bach nib, but pretty much other than that, I have used Yovo nibs, have really good luck with them, and Lamy nibs. I have several of those, but this Bach nib was not good. I got another Laban Pilgrim at the same time in different color scheme, and it was a fine nib. It was a great nib. This one, not so much. This one has been sent out. You can see it's straightened off here. It is a formal metallic now, or crisp metallic. Gina at Custom Knit Studio did that for me. Of course, I paid for it. Took 3 months, but was very worth it. I love this now. Ugh, such a great writer. I also have the Laban 325. I put these few pens here in order of when I got them. This one I found on Reddit. It is the Lagoon colorway. It's not a colorway that was on my radar. I had considered Ocean, Wisteria, and Sakura, which is like a blue, pink, and purple, my favorite colors. But this one came up, had a cursive italic grind from Mark Bacchus on a 1.5 stub, and I was very intrigued. I asked for writing samples, and it didn't seem to be selling, so after a few days I said, okay, yeah, I'll take it. It was under 100, and it writes so well. I love it. The size is a little small. Like, again, I can't hold it there. Gotta go up a little bit, but just do that, and it works just fine. I don't know if I will seek out the Wisteria and Sakura, but we'll find out. Then on Reddit, I found this Esterbrook Lilac. It's a fine. It writes similarly to the vintage Esterbrook, funnily enough, and it is my pointiest pen. It also has these really, really large chunks of acrylic, however you would describe that. Don't like that look as much as I do the Laban, but I enjoy having this ink with pink, and we're getting along quite well. Okay, another purple. This is the Leonardo Fioritura Viola Momento Zero Grande, a collaboration with Endless Pens, Nibs and Flourishes, Tailored Pen Company, and Leonardo Officina Italiana. So many words. Beautiful colors. So lovely. I got very reddish end here, which I'm not crazy about, but it's pen number 2 of 40. It's not like I could be picky with these. There were only 40 made. They did do a rerun on the Momento Zero, not on the Grande. There were only 40 of these, and as I said, I have number 2. The nib is so cool. I made sure I got a nib that was going to be engraved with the La Fenice design, pattern, engraving, and it's really cool. Now, this is hands down, by far, my most expensive pen, and it breaks all of my rules. It was well over almost 3 times that, and it's a great size, but is it really worth however many times more than what I've paid for Benus? I can't say that it is. I know some of you love Leonardo, but like, it's a great size. It's a beautiful color. I don't know that I will get any more. It's also piston filled, so I we'll have to face cleaning that at some point. Right now I just have used exclusively Diamond Pansy in it, but we'll see how that goes. Here's a new to me pen. I just got this like a week ago. Wing Sung 698. It says Lucky here on the clip. This is fun. You pull out the little like blind cap thing here, even though you can see it, it's clear, and that activates this piston, so super fun to fill, and then you just clip it back in there. About one rotation and the cap is off. It's got like this sealing thing up here, so I haven't had any kind of dry out issues, even though I've been testing it and using it like once every 4 days. So I've only used it a couple of times. It's a fine nib. I've got a really nice diamond blue in there, Sagasso C, and again, just hold a little further back, and it seems to be working really, really well. So I guess we can put this in with my beginner pen recommendations. Speaking of beginner pens, let's show you my Lamy collection. I found out fairly early on that Lamy nibs were easily interchangeable, and so I had gotten this strawberry and cream set, oh, when was that? Early December from Endless Pens, I think. My two orders were the Safaris and the Fioritura. And the deal was just too good to pass up. So I got the set, and then I added to it. I had to find a couple that were, you know, like limited years. These are the 2023s, but this Vibrant Pink was a different year. Tourmaline, I think, was like 2020. And then the Deep Purple Black, I was having a little trouble locating. This one was just too good a deal to pass up because it doesn't really match the others. But I have had a lot of fun with these. I have, as far as I know, all the nibs you can get for Lamy, and they are in order. So these are the bigger nut nibs, except this one is a fine. And then these are just like whatever's on there. And I keep them matched to the pen. So this is red. This one is like a golden brown. That one doesn't match. Pink, purple, and then I like to keep teal, like a glittery teal in this one. This is the A nib. The A is not Architect like I thought it was when I ordered it. The A nib is, I usually describe it like an all-purpose kids type of nib. It's very rounded, very forgiving, kind of a medium. Let's take a look at it. A, yeah. So it works great, and it handles shimmer beautifully. I don't know how long I'll keep this collection because they're kind of in that smaller range, but I like having red when I want it, or some pink, and I put glitter in this one too. This one's an extra fine. I like having some dark brown. I'm just, you know, it's like my Esterbrook. I like having gray in that, and do I use gray all the time? No, but sometimes I really want gray, and I know that pen's going to have gray in it. Okay, back to the nibs. This is a 1.1, 1.5, 1.9, and a broad. So got all those covered, and then fine, the A, extra fine, medium, and then whatever's on these. I think this one's extra fine as well, and I forget what's on the strawberry. I don't use red ink a lot. I just like having the option. So that's my Lamy collection. It's the only one I really have like a collection of, and I don't know how long they'll stay. We will see. All right, hand turn pens. I actually have 5 hand turn pens. I couldn't believe I had that many when I pulled these together, but I do. And if I really thought about it, I would remember I had that many because I love them all. This is a River City Pen Company turning. The blank is by Bob Dupras of Coral Creations. I think this is probably a sterling silver butterfly, but I don't have any proof of that. The model is Westwood, and this Amethyst Frost blank is beautiful. It did not come with this nib. This nib has been upgraded, as has like the little buff I showed you and the Mark Bacchus grind on the Laban. We've got a couple more coming up that have been customized. This is one, the nib technically hasn't been customized, but it has been hand engraved. This rivals my most expensive pen, just this nib. It was kind of a birthday treat for myself. It's got 3 swirls. It's the only one I've seen with the 3 swirls on it. Hooligan, Georgia. Tim Cullen did that. And, I mean, it's worth the money. It's so, so beautiful. I would love to have more hand-engraved nibs from him, but I just can't afford it. So I'm just going to have to admire this one for many years probably. Standard Yovo nib, it's a fine, but so pretty, and I like this pairing so much. Now the nib I bought on this one is actually the owl nib, the Carolina Penco owl nib. And I got this off of Instagram, actually. I think it's my only pen from Instagram. And this is a Woodshed Pen Co. offering. I don't know what blank it is. I think it had been purchased nibless, and the owner just never got around to using it. So this is the owl nib that came with the amethyst frost. I sent it out to be ground, and it was gone for 3 months, like the other one. Came back as a perspective, so kind of an architect, and then on the reverse it's extra fine, single extra fine. I'm not really sure. It's fine though. It's very fine, and I love having a shimmer in this. So like this lighter purpley color or this bluey type of color, something a little bit lighter, like along the lines of Platinum Jubilee and Color versus Butterfly Nebula. I like to mix those together and have this kind of a color in it. It's so pretty, and it lays down enough ink. It's very readable, and I like that. So this is probably my shortest. It's a little under 5 inches, but it's a little bit wider here. So it still works, but I'm not going any shorter than this. It looks so small next to some of my other pens. This one, this is the Bone Crusher 7 Studios Velma model. And I saw a pen like this on his Instagram. This is what I call my accidental purchase pen, because I waited a week and then I asked about the pen, and the pen had already sold. Surprise, surprise. And I said, well, how much are they and what are the dimensions for this model? Really realizing how much the size affects my purchases. Great size. Such a fantastic size. I think it's about 5.5. Ooh, almost 5 3/4. Solid 5/8 there. And I got it with a medium nib, which has been since converted to a journaler. This is the 3rd nib I sent out. So I had this pen for 1 week and then sent it off, because this happened so fast. I asked about the pen. Oh, it's sold. Here's the dimensions. Here's the price. Okay, thank you. Here are 2 pens I'm working on. He sends me photos. And I said, yeah, those are nice. Thanks so much for letting me know. I think I'm going to wait for the pink purple one. It just looked so beautiful in the video that he had posted. So pastel and just perfect for me. And so I was like, I'm going to wait for the other one. No worries. No rush. Like, I'll just wait. It's no big deal. Well, long story short, he got a blank very quickly. He had already put in an order, and within 2 weeks, that pen was done. And suddenly I had purchased a pen. So, yeah, that happened. This one is a London Pen Co. Christopher 14, or C14 for short. It is a lovely size as well, and I'm pretty sure this grip is not polished. I think it is matte, and it feels really, really nice. It's a great size. It's got a little blue, like, landing, just like the Amethyst Frost has. Not quite as big, but reminiscent of each other, right? Which I thought was really, really fun, and it's such a beautiful color. It's got some teal, some blue, some shimmer, and just a touch of white. If you noticed, I don't have white on my pens. I don't like when the acrylics are mixed with black or white. So I thought this was really pretty. This is a Bach nib. So I have 3 Bach nibs, I guess. And it's a 1.1, but it writes really broadly, more like a 1.5. So super fun. Love that one. And then we only have one left, and it's the Divines Pens Plus. What is this called? This is the Summerland, I think. And it's in Pink Radiance Diamond Cast. This is also from Reddit. Got lots of used pens. And I put a custom nib on this that I also bought off Reddit just a couple days prior. Thankfully, this is threaded for Yovo, not for Bach. I love this shape of a grip. It's my favorite. Because usually right after that it goes wide, and that's the perfect place for me to hold it. So this is actually a really great size. Of course, it came with the Divine Pens Plus branded nib in a medium, and the logo for Divine Pens Plus is palm trees. And if you know me very well, you know I'm not a fan of palm trees, so I was very happy to have this nib to switch onto it. It is a Franklin Christoph branded, hence the FC, Nagahara Fine cursive italic, and it is lovely, so lovely. And I have this inked with the same color as the pen. Monteverde Kindness matches this blank so perfectly. Lovely, super lovely. I hope you have enjoyed this collection. Here's what that last tray looked like, so you have something to view. All great pens. I would recommend them all. And that's kind of it. I have so much more I could say, but this is a 30-minute video and I want to keep it there. So I hope you enjoyed the collection. If you want to see a pen more closely, I don't really do reviews, although I did on this one, so that is already on the channel. Otherwise, just let me know. I can do that, or there's probably somebody else who has a review out there somewhere. So I can help you find what you're looking for, or just do it myself if you can't find it. But that is all for now. Have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching. See you. Bye.